Hello and welcome to Sandy's Left-Handed Crafts. Today I am going to be showing you how to make this this recipe box or organizer. And I'm going to be using the fresh baked paper pack from Close to My Heart with the stickers. You can also get the coordinating cardstock, but that's not necessary. You can use whatever you want to actually decorate your box. So the cardstock that I'm using to construct my box, because I made it heavy duty, I want this to last for a while. I'm hoping to give one to each one of my kids with all of the cookie recipes or recipes that I use at Christmas time for them to have and to keep, and hopefully one day they'll look back and say, hey, yeah, my mom made that. So that's what I'm planning to do. Another option, if you're not up to creating the box or you don't have all the tools, or this is not what you are thinking of, this is another option that I did a couple years ago, where I used a 4x6 plastic photo album from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut all of my papers and decorated it throughout with cards and stuff. This is another option that is very easy also to do. And this paper pack from Close to My Heart would be just the cutest, with the cookies and everything. So I will show you the paper more later when we start cutting on it. For now, I'm setting it aside. If I ask, it's to my left, okay? Seems like whenever I turn on the camera, I totally forget everything that I'm doing. Now, the cardstock that I'm using, or the craft board I'm using, is from Cricut, and it's a heavier duty board. And if you have this craft board sampler, they have a little box that you can go and cut in Design Space. So if you're interested in that, but I'm not sure if it's the right size. So if you have smaller recipe cards, this has a cut file that would work. So but these are going to be my directions for the box that I'm making today. And the size of the box is 6.5 inches by 4.5 inches by 1 inch deep, 1.5 inches deep. So, and you'll notice that instead of making these hard sides to help to organize things, I made this little ziggy-zaggy on the sides. And you often see that on like things that are expandable folders, and I really like that. And I also, if you notice, I did not fasten it in on either side. So like maybe there's a card that's a little bit bigger, you could squeeze it in there and it would fit. So that is just my options. That's what I chose to do. So the craft board, okay, this here is a piece of our daisy cardstock, and it's flexible and not quite as heavy duty as the craft board, but you can see the craft board is definitely flexible too. But I figured this is about an 80-pound weight, because it's definitely a little bit heavier duty than the 65, and I figured this is about 110 pound. But so that's what I wrote up here. I recommend about 110 pound, but 65 would work. But I'm gonna say the white daisy would work, or any of our cardstock would work. It just isn't going to be quite as sturdy, but I think once you start decorating it, that will stiffen it up enough that it will still work just as well. but this craft board is just a little on the thicker side, and I thought it would make a good box. So you're gonna need 7 pieces. You're gonna need 12 or 2 pieces of the 12 by 12 cardstock, and I have a bit of a cut diagram so that, you know, if you want to follow my cutting instructions. But this is with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. You could also do it out of a 8.5 by 11, but you'd have to do a little adjusting with the flap and the length of the box. But you could do it. So I will get cutting here. So our first cut on our first piece of 12 by 12 is going to be at 6.5 inches. Now, because I'm a lefty and it's easier for me to do it this way, I put my trimmer upside down, and that may throw some of you off, but so there's my 6.5, and I usually like to start and pull towards where I'm measuring, because then it's pushing it up and I'm getting hopefully a better cut. So there's my 6.5. This will be the main body piece. And then I need to cut another 6.5 inch piece. So I turn it, and 6.5, and then the flap, you can do it whatever size you want, but I liked about a 4-inch flap because that gave me 3 inches in the front to kind of play with, or 3.5 inches. So there's the front flap, and this is scrap. And then this one, you need a 5-inch by 4.5 inch. So however you want to cut it, I mean 5 inches by 4.5. The 4.5 is going to be the height, and we're gonna score this and make that the sides. So our second piece of craft board, these are the dividers inside. Again, 6.5 inches. Okay. And 2 4.5 inch cuts. So 4.5. These dividers are going to have like a tab on the top so that's why they're not 4 inches. So 2 dividers and scrap. And then this one, 4.5, the whole length. 4.5 inches. Scrap. And then you need a 6.5 inch piece. That's your other divider. And now it's already cut to 4.5, so you just need 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So we just need 5 inches. Take off that little piece, and we have our second 5.5 by 4.5 inch piece. That is all the cutting that is necessary for the construction of the box. Then you take your scoreboard, or however you want to score your pieces. Like I said, you can do this without all the tools too, I promise. We're going to score using my stylus here. We score at 1.5, and don't go ziggy-zaggy. 1.5 at 6, and then at 7.5. Then on that, okay, you've got 3 that are the same size, right? My luck. I believe the smallest one here is what we want. Something's wrong with my dividers. I bet you one of those is my dividers. There's a divider. Why am I off? 4 1/4. The 4-inch piece, 1/2 inch. That's our flap. And these are our dividers. Then these are the sides. So we have our box and our flap. The sides. On the 5-inch side, so at the 5, with the 5 at the top, this piece we want to score at every 1/2 inch. So that's a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 3 inch, 3.5 inch, 4, and then 4.5 inch. Now because this cardstock is so heavy duty and I'm going to be folding it back and forth like a fan, I'm going to go back and flip it on the other side and do that same score again so that that paper will bend easily. So that's one side. Again, make sure you have the 5-inch side at the top, and then every inch or 1/2 inch. That fun noise, sorry if that's bothering you. I think the reason I have the hardest time making videos while I'm crafting is because I love to have music on when I'm crafting, but YouTube doesn't like it when I have music on when I'm crafting because it's all copyrighted music. So I have to shut my music off, so then my brain is thinking, and then my brain isn't following along with the music, so then it goes off into weird land. I guess that's ADHD brain or something like that. No wonder both my kids have ADD, right? So there's 1/2 inch fold, the 6-inch fold, and the 7.5 inch fold. And there's how you end up with your box. Okay? And these will be the sides. 1, 2, you just accordion fold back and forth. Is there anyone else that has a thing for rosettes. I love to fold paper like this. I don't know why. It's very good. And then we have our flap that is 4 inches. So now your box. You're going to glue this flap to the top. And I do use the glue because I think it bonds better and it lasts forever. But you can use tape or whatever kind of adhesive you prefer. But I'm going to line it up to that score line that I made and make sure that it will bend down, but that it's lined up nice and straight. So there's with the flap. Okay. Now all we got to do is add our sides, and the box is complete. That's why this is so simple. Now, you want your gluing sides to be on the outside. Does that make sense? So you want the bends out here. You want this flat. I'm going to glue one on one side between the two 1.5 scores. Should fit perfectly there. And then this one, again, you want the flat side here. On the outside. Or on the inside of your box. And just make sure that you get it nice and straight. And then here comes the trickiest part, is gluing the front onto these strips. So again, I'm using glue because I feel like it's got a stronger bond. And then all you do is do one side, pull it up, and attach it. And because you can reach in there, and then you bring the other side up and attach it. Now, on my original one, I made a little indent right here. And I did it before I glued it together. So, I might have troubles with this one. So, if you want that indent in there, you need to do that before you glue it together. But I think I can make it work. We'll see. But there's the box. The box is put together now. And that happened in less than 20 minutes into the video. So, I feel like I'm doing good here. Now, to make your dividers, one of them is off, and I do not know why. It's 4 1/4. How did I get 4 1/4? Must have cut wrong. It happens. So, to make these dividers, I have an envelope punch board. This is how I make all of my tabs on anything that I make tabs on, because I don't have a tab punch, but I have an envelope punch board, and let me show you how I do this. Now, if I set this at 3 inches, that will be a 3-inch tab. I'm going to put it on 2.5 and punch. That's going to put it, and then because I want it to kind of look finished, I can put a little spot there, and all I'm doing is centering it on that punch. And so there I have my one side. This one. Again, I did 2.5. So because we haven't put anything on these yet, my right one I don't know why I did that. So now I have my left one and my right one. Okay. Now I'm doing my center one, and my center one I'm going to do at 2 inches on one side, and again 2 inches on the other, and then I will trim off either side and I'll have my center tab. Now on this here, to get kind of a fun decorative corner, you can either corner round it, or to make it kind of look like a file folder, I did that. Again, I'm just centering it on that punch so that I'm getting half of that spot. So that does that. Now, to get the inside of my box, this might be tricky. I'm going to turn it around so I can see if I move it over as far as I can and up. 1. Again, moving it over as far as I can. 2. So now I have 2 V's there in the front. Now I'll clear away my little pieces. And to make these, you can either use your cutter and all you do is you line up your card where you want to cut away. Now, if I do this from the back, and only cut to your tab. Now, then I use my scissors and I just finish out that curve. And there's my tab. For the other one, again, we're just basically going to do that same thing. We're lining it up with our cut, and we come in just to that curve, and we cut it away. So there's my left and my right, and then this is my center one, and it's going to be a little more of a problem, but all you do is you line it up, cut in, flip it, and do that again. Line it up and cut in. So get a nicer cut. Use my detail scissors here. And just clean it up. And there's your center tab. Now, because I made these sides kind of flexible, you can put your tabs in. That's why they're a little larger. The actual recipe cards will be just a little bit smaller. And then they fit in there and you can organize away. So that's the completion of the box. Now you bring in your fancy little papers. This is again the you find the piece of paper that tells you what it is. This is the Freshly Baked X7285B. And you can see you have you get 6 sheets and there are 6 patterns. So one side it kind of looks like a cooling rack. The other side is polka dots with a fun zip strip. One side has the chocolate chip cookie recipe written on it. The other side are just the colors in big bold stripes with a cute yellow polka dot strip. And then the third one is more of the graphic sheet that I think of. This is the cookies and milk. And on this side is the cookie sheet with all the cookies cut out. And it does say, if you can read that little tiny writing, it says, Santa, the cookies for you, the carrots are for the reindeer. So that's why there's some carrots in there. And so it could be holiday, but really that's the only spot where it says anything about Santa other than on the stickers. So this could be an anytime box or a holiday box. And then of course there are the stickers. Now I used some stickers on this previous box. I really liked the cookie sheet, and it says it's not the holidays without cookies. And then I put the Baked with Love sticker on there, which comes from there. And then I lined up some cookies on the cooling rack at the top of my box. So you can decorate it obviously however you want. So to decorate, I want to use up my scraps first before I cut into these. I may use them for some scrapbooking because there will be leftovers. But these have all been cut down too small already. So I'm going to have to work with it. Remember, your box is 6.5 by 4.5, so your decorative pieces need to be 4.25 by 6.25 if you want 1/8 of an inch around to show. And I just think that makes it look cute and kind of finished. So that's 4.25 by 6.25. there's the back of the box. This one is going to be 5 3/4. It'll be good for scrapbooking with. So I'm going to put those aside for scrapbooking. Then I need another one that is 4 1/4. This box is going to look a little different because I'm using up the same paper. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then is this 1.5 inches? It is 1.5 inches basically. I'm going to use this as my top. So again, 6 1/4. Using the zip strip, that should make it kind of cute. And then the front, I'm going to use the recipe again. I just thought that was really cute. Now the front flap is the 3 1/2. So you want 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. I guess I probably should write down the size of the mats for decorating the box. I'll try to add that to my post before we post this all. So there is the front of my box. And I just think that's so cute because that's actually the recipe for chocolate chip cookies. And then I need one more piece that is 1 1/2. That's 2. 1 1/2. By 6 1/4. This will either be the bottom or the top of my box. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. That's the fun. Now the inside flap, I put a magnet in mine, and I do not have a magnet to show you to do it again. So, but again, you need that 3 1/2 or 3 1/4 for your flap that flaps up on the inside. You can also use another 1/2 inch piece inside there, or 1 1/2. That's actually 1 3/4 inches. How did that happen? No? Inch and 3/4. I'm going to cut it this way first. 6 1/4. And then I'm going to take it down to my 1 1/2 inches. There. Now I think I have enough pieces to cover my box. So you can see this project is very quick and simple. I didn't show you how to get that out because I'm not sure how at this point, but let's try it. If I screw this up on video, we'll just have some fun. I can't do that. I have to cut it. I can't really cut it out. I'm just going to leave it there. again, if you want this little design, you need to cut it beforehand, before you put your box together, or you'll run into the problem that I have right now, which is I can't cut a straight line with scissors, and so I don't want to cut that because I'm afraid I will mess it up. But we can put a little sticker there or something, and it'll look cute. It'll look part of the design before we're done. Now, I did not cut that right. So maybe I put the other piece up here. I put all my pieces over there. We have these cute little polka dots. Or we have, it looks like the cooling rack. Now, because it's for my son or my daughter, I'm gonna go with, I think, the polka dots, because they're just so cute, the pink, the yellow. And I'm going to cut out that thing that I want so that it looks right, which means I need my envelope punch board. And now it's not where it should be. There it is. So, punch. And all you got to do is to make sure that you get it even, you punch it out on the same side, on either side. And then you take your trimmer again. So, since this is on the inside, look at there, I didn't get those in the right spot. Thank goodness I can fix it still. So, take our punch board. That's right, we want it a little bit smaller than what we had. A little bit more. There we go. Now it fits. Now it fits. So I can either put it on the cooling rack design or the spots design. And because There's the right one. We gotta make sure that we get the, okay, now we trim the corners on this. Obviously, if you've got fancy corner punches or however you want to do it, you can add your designs however you want. But I just thought that made a cute kind of taggy front. So I'm gluing it down because I haven't lost it. My glue is probably clogged. Okay. So I liked the polka dots. A little bit of glue. And place that down. Now, the one zip strip has all these fun little words. So I can put a cute little word there, or I can use a sticker, depending on what I feel like. So now, if you have the magnet, you might want to put that magnet in there before you put that sheet down, just to let you know. But I think I'm just going to use Velcro on this one. And unfortunately, you can't cover the Velcro up like you can a magnet, but Velcro works just as well. So make sure you get it nice and well lined up there. Try and make it even all the way around. See? And then this one you can either put the cookies up I need to trim that down 1/4 inch. I thought, oh, I'm going to really have it together. I'm going to make one before I videotape myself making a second one. And then it'll go so much easier. That didn't work, but that's okay. So I'm going to place the cookies here on top with the milk. Looks kind of cute. There. You'll never even notice where I added that flap. Okay. Then we add our back. I'm going to put more dots. So get the right one. That's not the right one. This is the right one. Again, if you're more comfortable with the sticky tape or whatever, that's great. But I find having glue gives you just a little chance to move something around and get it placed properly. And then the bottom, I'm going to put this one, and it's a little too big, remember, because I need to take it down to 1 1/4 inches. So 1 1/4. Cute little strips. Don't throw those strips away. They're fun for making cards. Okay, so how did I want this on the bottom? I think I'll put it like that. It just looks different. And then this front lip, that isn't the right piece, I don't think. That's too short. There we go. Now remember, we have that little fancy little decorative corner. So to make it, we basically just use this envelope punch again. I center it, 1, center it, 2. Now you can either use the lighter side or the darker side. But if you notice, these ones are a little on the light side, so I'm going to use the lighter side. These are Velcro squares that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And they already have adhesive on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them together. You don't have to use the whole square, you could cut it down. I'm going to use the whole square. And you pull the adhesive off. For some reason my one square is, and these are really sticky. Very sticky. So I'm going to place them on here first. One in about there. I got the upside down. I need something in there to press against. Example of how your sides can expand, come out. It's not really what you want, but it works. Put that there. not going to stick. All right. There we go. Press that back in. And there is our cute little box with Velcro. And that stuff is very sticky. So that ain't falling open for nothing. You're gonna want to stick those down really good. I got the hook and the fuzzy on one way and the hook and the fuzzy on the other way. And my kids will one day say, yeah, it's quirky just like Mom. So ta-da! And see, our dividers here kind of help hold the box in shape. So see. And then all you do is you bring out your sticker sheet wherever I placed it. Here we go. And there's still some fun little stickers on here. On this one, instead of we're just going to put the sheet of cookies, holiday cookies here on the front. And we're going to put baking therapy, or you bake me happy. I went with something. Cookie Cutie. Here's Cookie Cutie. Cookie Cutie. And then it's not the cooling rack on top anymore. So I've already got cookies up there. I don't really want to add cookies. Do I really need to add anything else to it? It looks pretty cute. Just the way it is. We could put yummy. That's something I typically say. Yummy. But it's the same color. Don't want to put, I want it to stand out more than that. So I'm going to use the baking therapy. Because someday when my son gets married, his wife is probably going to need some therapy. And he loves baking therapy. So, there's what I've done. Keeping it kind of plain on the back, but it's cute. There's my two little recipe boxes. And here's the extra little bit of fun. Is if you take another sheet of 12 by 12. I think I can do this. I think I can. I'm just going to be like you can make you can make 6 recipe cards. out of one sheet of 12 by 12. So 6, and then make them 4 by 6. 1, I just got this blade. This white cardstock, it's just a little bit heavier, so it does not cut as smoothly as I'd like. But the best recommendation that I have heard from the home office is just make sure you have a new blade. So there you go. Now you have 6 recipe cards. And here is the coolest thing. This is the freshly baked card making kit, or card making stamp. It does come with a thin cut, so you can get thin cuts if you want that will cut out the card. But I didn't figure I needed that. But I'm going to get out my stamping platform here. And to get everything positioned properly, here's how I'm going to smooth up my edges a little bit. Just a hair. There we go. And on this side too. This little friction cutter is definitely a lifesaver. Perfect. So now I put my card in here, and I believe I've got a little space there and a little space there. But this is the biggest stamp, and the fun. You could use this as just like a background in stamping or in your but you center your lines. And I'm trying to be very careful and line it up real good. I don't know why. I think I want to flip it. Now you can make your own recipe cards. Pick that up. Place your card back in there again. And I'm going to check it one more time. My magnet is not in the way there. The magnets just help hold the paper down. Okay. But if I have it placed in there, it's not going to move anyway. Now I take my ink, and you can use whatever color ink you want to use. I'm going to use some black ink. You ink them up. Want to make sure I get all the little dots. Okay. This is how I make sure I get my lines straight on my card. Okay? So you go through and you can stamp them all at once, get all the lines on them. Then being straight is not nearly as important. Can take that off. I'll leave that on there so I know where it's at. Now I take my card and I have all these fun little stamps. I've got a long one. I had a shorter one here. Here it is. And you can use these words to build your recipe card. Say you want your recipe to be in red. Put that up here, recipe. And then I'm sorry, you can, from the kitchen of, I'm going to put that down on the bottom line. Recipe over here to be cleaned. From the kitchen of, and put that down here in the bottom. Okay. And you can put here's the directions. So you just build your recipe card. Obviously, if you're doing several of these, you'd do them all at the same time. I'm going to put the directions kind of over here to the side. And then I know there's ingredients here somewhere. Where's the ingredients word? Ingredients, there it is. Because you know you always want your list of ingredients on there. Ingredients. They're going to be baking, so probably going to need the oven preheated or the cook time, cook temp. Anything I don't have to write with my own hand, I'm putting the cook temp right over here, up there in the corner. And then sometimes you need a rating system. Like, how good is this one? How many hearts are you going to give it? I'm going to put that down here too, at the bottom. Obviously, you fill in however many hearts it is. You could put directions down here. Maybe at the bottom you have special notes, like whatever it is. Note, do not double this batch because you will eat it twice as fast. Notes. So here you make your own little card. They also have, look at all these words. holiday, desserts, beverages, appetizers, breakfast, freezer, lunch, canning, salad, side dishes, bread, soup. It even has cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, bake and mix. I showed you ingredients. They got the cook time, how many it serves, prep time. We could say the prep time is about 20 minutes. Prep time, we'll put that right here, and we'll put cook time. Cook time. So then you go in and you write your recipe, and you have a nice little recipe card. I just thought that was so cool. Obviously, on your tabs, if you're doing like beverages or appetizers, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, breads, side dishes, desserts, whatever, they're all a possibility on there. And I stuck my other ones up there because I do not have my chamois to clean them, so I want to know to clean those before I put them back on this side. You can also do, look, this is not a problem at my house, but some people, they do need to know these things. Is it vegetarian, dairy-free, low-carb, or gluten-free? Cute little card, huh? And this is all done with the freshly baked card making stamp. And then you can get the die cuts to go with it. But if you have a 4x6 card, and like me, I have, where are they? I got some little 4x6 index cards from, I think I got these at the Dollar Tree a while ago, or no, Dollar General. And they've got little cupcakes on them. But look, I can use all these little stamps and stamp on here to make my recipes. Same size. And then you just place them in your box. And like here, you can stamp, you know, your salads, your main dishes, your desserts on your little file folders. And obviously you can expand this or however much you need to, or use an actual box that you buy at the store, but just make your own little file folders. So that is about it. I hope you like this, and I hope it didn't aggravate you too much listening to me fumble. Hopefully my husband will fix that all up in his editing. That's what I hire him for. And that's my cute little box. You should find all of the, I'm going to try and scan and put the cutting guide and this information in the drop-down box, or I will put it on my, I do have a blog, and I will try and put them on there for you to download the directions and sizes. So feel free to pick up this paper pack at Close to My Heart. You can see it makes some pretty darn cute little recipe boxes, or obviously you can use it for scrapbooking. If you're like me, I have a lot of photos of Tony and Abby making cookies in the kitchen, and so that's kind of why I wanted to save as many of my stickers as I could. And the other 3 sheets of paper, plus all of my little scraps here, so that I can scrapbook some of those cute moments of my kids and I baking together. So you can see there's a lot of leftovers even after making 2 of these recipe boxes. So alrighty, have a great day. Again, thank you for joining me. If you made it to the end, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and you'll give me a thumbs up, or you will see my thumb. I need my thumbs up, and or a comment, even just a smiley face to let me know that you watched the video, because I really appreciate that. Or if you really liked it and you want to share it with your friends, if you share my videos, I really appreciate it. That helps to expand my reach to other people, and gets the products of Close to My Heart out there for other people, and it really helps me and my business. The only way that I make money at what I'm doing here at this time is by selling the Close to My Heart products. I am in the process of creating some sort of a storefront where you could buy the products that I make from Close to My Heart products, and I'm planning to call that Sandy's Left-Handed Crafts, obviously, and there you should be able to find cards or scrapbook layouts or odds and ends, like maybe a recipe box. Depends upon how much I make. One of my last videos, I did a haunted house that I cut with my Cricut, and someone at my husband's work saw his haunted house, and so she wants me to make her a Christmas house. So when I make the Christmas house, I may show you some photos of that, so you can see that that video is not just a haunted house, but it's also a Christmas house, and there's also a Valentine's version of the house. So please check that out. Hopefully my husband will put the link to that previous video, so if you want to watch it, you can. And I thank you for stopping by. Hope you come back soon, and have a great day.